Have you ever thought about owning your own business? Where would you even start? To illustrate this point, we'd like to introduce you to our friend Amy, who lives in Jackson. Amy loves to bake and has for years wanted to open a bakery. So one day Amy goes to the library to try to find out what's involved in this process, but a simple search pulls up a huge amount of information at the state, local, and federal levels. Amy isn't sure what to do with all this information, so she goes to City Hall. But from City Hall, she's redirected to the Chamber of Commerce and ultimately to the Small Business Development Association in Ann Arbor. Starting a business is hard enough without all these scattered resources and this legwork, and Amy's beginning to get discouraged. But what if Amy had one place where she could find the answers to all of her questions? We had this idea in mind when we created Business Connect, Jackson's first one-stop online source for information about starting a small business. Users of Business Connect will be able to find useful links and information specific to Jackson in one place. Users like Amy will also be able to connect with mentors and local business people to help guide them through the process of starting a business. So now we'd like to ask for your help. We invite you to share your ideas with Derek and Jonathan so they can continue to move this project forward and make Business Connect a reality in 2016. Thank you.
This is really well designed, I thought, and had all the information that I would want as a small business. So great job on that. I'm concerned again about the sustainability because, again, it's in the city staff. So there might be, hopefully they can explore possible partnerships with business organizations that might be willing to champion this going forward. I love the feature where you're trying to find examples of other businesses that have done something similar. So you can, if I want to open a retail store, I can talk to other retailers. That's going to be really hard to build that feature, but I think it's really powerful, and it makes it much less generic, because the issue with sites like this is that it tends to look, if you go to other cities, you see similar sites, and so the generic aspect of it can be an issue, but that feature of identifying other businesses is important. Good job.
So I thought the linchpin of this idea was in your particular permits and licensing section, where you had the three examples, like retail, restaurant, and then I forgot what the third one was, but it was color coded. But as you clicked on it, you could see all the things you needed there. I think that's actually the meat of this site, and I would consider very strongly actually expanding that to not just be represented in the permits and licensing part. Like if that actually could be the way that this information is presented in a very just straightforward, like, bam, I want to do this type of business. Here are the things that you need to do. That place can then serve as a launching pad for I need to go to the county health department to get this. I need to go to the state to get that. But all those things linked from that grid, I think that's really where the meat of this is. And this is something that's a really important thing that a lot of cities are trying to look at. City of Detroit, for example, is considering something very similar in this regard. So I think it's very useful, because all of us want to make sure that this is not a hindrance to business development, but this is something that can make people feel like it's accessible. And I really think that if I was going to, in a future version of this product, where I would focus on would be that particular grid experience, have 10 or 20 versions of that grid rather than just 3. So I think that's really important and great.
Well, I'm going to merge both ideas, or attempt to. I really understand Mary's point where, who are you going to burden with? I really understand the permits and licensing piece, but I would encourage even further expansion to say there's got to be a better public-private partnership to handle this, because find a location should be part of your realtors group as to existing or buildable properties. Permits and licensing, obviously the county and the health department. Financing your business is going to be through either your local lender or community groups that can help minority-owned businesses grow and expand. Where creating a plan might be putting it to somebody like a junior achievement, or somebody that's actually there to help people walk through that step. So I'm looking at a whole community. It takes a village. Now it takes the city of Jackson to bring other players to the table to help support this type of initiative, with the city focusing maybe just on the permits and licensing piece, and to make sure that we have easy data uploads. So I think it could be a great public-private partnership for this one functionality.